sort of reckless, who has not yet stabilized yourself, then what happens is you are now managing the pressure of credits that you can't service. And that puts you in, again, a more stressful position. And then it's like, oh, your boys are going to do something, you have to do it too because you'll be part of it. Then it's, your babe is asking you for these things. And again, of course, please, by all means, take care of your babe, of your access credit that is responsible.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take questions from the audience, and I'm going to take questions from online. Can you please, the questions online, if you can write them and bring them to me, or if you can project them on the screen. And then, of course, from the audience, we're going to pass the mic around in a few minutes. I just have one or two more questions. So there's this slang that says, money na water.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that, there's, what lesson does a person that have money na water mindset needs to know in terms of managing your resources individually? Mastering money.
Right. So I guess money na water, there are two meanings of money na water, at least, that I understand.
Plenty.
One is that it is endless, it's abundant, it's always there. And the second one is that it is like vanity, don't hold. But I think it's the first one that you mean.
So the first one, or the one that I mean, is the one that, like you said, reckless. So somebody sees money and just spends it anyhow. Uses it anyhow because money in our water, another one will come. And because there's no enough financial literacy or understanding of money. So what would be your lesson or your message to your, you just talked about, not spending it anyhow. They go to club, they want to, because money in our water, they want to buy the, raining outfit in town, they want to look sharp because money in our water. And many of them are not thinking about the future and delayed gratification.
So it comes back to this thing about like someone knowing themselves, right? And that is an incredibly difficult thing to do. You see, spending enough time to confront their own demons. And money is an easy fuel for those things. So when you say money na water, it means I will spend money to generate an activity that allows me not to confront my own self. Because if I confront myself and ask myself what I really want, it might be that I want to have genuine relationships in my life. I want to have a family that I love, that loves me. I want to have work that is meaningful, right? That makes me feel like I'm contributing. None of these things requires get to that point of maybe contentment first with yourself, or like sort of fixing the things in yourself that allow you to then achieve the happiness that you want. That's not about other people. That's not about spending money. It makes you to now spend money so that people can see you spending money and give you that momentary dopamine high of, I like this guy, I respect this guy, or you buy the nice car. I love nice things or nice enough things, but I'm not against that, but I'm just saying, when you know that when you are done with that activity, you will be back hustling. And if you don't have that source coming again, that you either be depressed or run into crime, then I don't think that there's wisdom in that. So the mindset that I give to people is, first of all, just kill the Joneses. I think most people, how many of you woke up this morning and the first person you thought about was not yourself? Like you woke up this morning and the first person you thought about was somebody else. Almost nobody. So you'll be very surprised how little people are actually thinking about you. It doesn't take away that you people you love or care about. But I'm just saying that people are obsessed with dealing with their lives and their problems. And you're busy worrying about what they're thinking about you. They're not. They're really not. In fact, it's when you start that obsessive behavior that they now notice you. Otherwise, they're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about of making a point of view on you in general, right? So, money in our water is not, there's just no wisdom in it, in a way that allows you to then command more money that you can service with personal finance. If you don't do that, then you're wasting your time. So Moyena Water, a man who made a good candidate for credit. Because the day that I need you to, I or whoever you generate the credit for your home or solar energy or whatever, the day they need you to pay might be the day you are at -50. Nobody wants that. But the person who has 200K, 300K, 400K, 420, 400, 380, 400, 450, 380, 500, that one is stable. But at least stability. So that's just the bottom line.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause for Engineer Uzoma Nwagba. We're going to go to the audience. And before we go to the audience, I have a young man here as a poet. And I want him to recite a short poem for the MD, and then we'll go to the floor for questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mohammed.
Opportunity today to speak in the Progressive House. So before I start, I would like to share more light on the legacies and the transformation that are going on in the Credicorp. I once had a song by Cox Sparrow, and in that song are the lines: because you are young, you are thrown between a world of hate and a world of dreams. So much to lose, so much to gain, so much to fight for, and so much to change. Then I realized that us, the youth of Nigeria, we have a lot of things to make a difference. We have the power to make change. We have the capability of raising the status of our country in a better life. Credicorp has done what 1,000 lives, partnering with banks and institutions to expand access where it was one clean future that is being built today. They say leadership is about changing system. But Credicorp didn't just come to change system. It came to reimagine them. Awards like consumer credit access nice. But perhaps more capital, ideas find fuel, and young souls find their path forward. Engineer Uzoma Nwagba comes not just from a single story. He comes from the fusion of tech and finance. From Microsoft to Bank of Industry, to building a Nigerian institution that says, access is not a privilege. Access is a right. This is not just consumer credit. This is dignity. This is the possibility of a new chapter for the Nigerian worker, for the Nigerian youth, and for the Nigerian dream. And today, we celebrate not just the achievements, but the spirit behind them. The courage to believe. The change is possible. And then it is left to us, the progressive youth, to make it happen. Credicorp is a place where access becomes empowerment and empowerment becomes a legacy. Thank you very much, Engineer Uzoma Nwagba, for all you do in the Credicorp. Thank you very much.
I think we should give a big round of applause. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please another round of applause for Mohammed. And a big round of applause for Engineer Nwagba. We're going to go to the floor for questions now. And there's a lot of questions around. Don't worry, we're going to go around everybody. Tuko, you're going to be my assistant on this. I'm going to start from the front. I'll go to the back. I'll come back to the front. I think there's so many creditors on this side of the building.
Good morning once again, everyone. Dr. Uzodima, sorry, I said Uzodima, Uzoma. So I want to talk about risk capital. You know, you mentioned earlier that you are obsessed with China, which I'm obsessed with China too. You know, we all can see how far China has gone and this whole rivalry between them and America. Well, I'm very certain that China is way ahead of America. The Americans are still living on past glory. Because, I mean, if you know what the Chinese are doing, I mean, you would know that they've really gone far. So my thing with risk capital is we have like, you spoke of Money Point, OP. Of recent, we have this startup that has, you know, blown. This is Chowdeck. I don't know whether you know of Chowdeck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know why we are not looking towards that area. I know we don't have enough risk capital in Nigeria. I mean, startups here, people prefer to go abroad in order to fund the startups. We have accelerators abroad, the Y Combinator, A16Z, and the likes. So I don't see our government moving towards that direction. we could be having everything that OPay owns today. I mean, I don't think there's any country that use OPay more than we do. I don't think there's any country that use money points more than we do. So my question is, why can't we have why are we aren't we moving towards enough risk capital in the country? Because that will really transform the country from where it is today. And if we look at in the next 20 years, if we're going at this rate, we're really not doing that. We are really not moving towards that. Thank you very much.
Let's take our question short and straightforward because of time, so I can take more. Engineer would take them in groups and respond to them in together. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Dayo, National Youth Leader. I want to appreciate you and I appreciate Emeka for being here. Honestly, today is a good day for us. And Emeka, I want us to look at this in few ways. One is that there are a lot of, I have problem with our development banks, like UI and all of those ones. Most times you find out that there are monies locked with them. Government has actually advanced this money to them, but the condition of assessing them becomes a problem. So I hope this is not going to go that route. That's number one. Number two, my brother, I don't know if you came with your partners, especially the financial institutions that are working with you and your vendors, so that this will be operationalizing this. We can interact with them, ask questions and all of that. And that brings me to the question of how does one become a vendor to you? Maybe either in a solar or any other one. So if you can help us, thank God that we have this opportunity to have you. A lot of us here who are rendering one product or services, we want to, take this advantage of becoming a vendor with you. Then lastly is to talk about aggregation. Before you came in, my brother, there are a lot of interaction, a sort of town hall meeting going on, and people talking about what they are doing in the area of agriculture and all that. And I want to ask my Dayo, I need you to listen to this.
Yes, sir.
Is there a way we can do a sort of aggregation? And I will tell you what I mean. For instance, there's a youth call, or there's a credit for youth. And a lot of people here who are into agriculture. Can we look at this? I just want to paint a picture where a farmer or an investor will get a land, for instance, and now say maybe 100 plus of land, and now say, I want to give 100 people opportunity to farm in this land under my mentorship, under my mentoring, under supervision, and bring in the relevant agencies like Ministry of Agriculture and all that. But the money to farm on each person. So Credicorp, as this partnership, that's where it will work. I'm trying to operationalize it. So Credicorp will give credit to 100 youths for that purpose, for that farm. They are not taking for anything. So if it is greenhouse they want to do, if it is somebody mentioned about and all of those things. So where these 100 people under the supervision of experts get this money.
With mentorship and all of that.
All of that, under that controlled environment. That can be replicated in many other ways. Somebody, for instance, who is manufacturing solar, like somebody mentioned, solar equipment, can come to him and say, look, I have these civil servants, or I have these youths, or I have these people who work in tech or all of that. Can I aggregate them, bring them to you as a single list? You give me your criteria, check them and make sure that I profile them and bring them to you, and you give them a group. The credits will go to individuals.
Yes, I think it gets the idea.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you. I think I like the point that you've raised in that. And aside from MD's response, will be something that I think that we should pursue, Zubair, and see how we can, actually look at that with our Progressive Young Farmers Network. Because I mentioned that to the MD. We have a database about over 10,000 farmers who are progressives, to see how we can, for example, work with state government, like the Nasarawa state governor that was here yesterday, acquire a land, see many of them that wants to have clusters and like a farming village in that, and then see how we can partner with the Credicorp, BOIs, media and stuff to support them. I think that's a fantastic question. Thank you very much. Chief, yeah, we'll go. I'm going to the back. Don't worry. Yes.
My question when people access facility like this, if it's not cumbersome or if it is easy to access, people tend to abuse it. So I want to find out, so far, probably so good, how has it been in terms of repayment? Because I know, is that pool of funds that others will also access? Can you give us an insight into repayment pattern?
Thank you. I think that's another beautiful question. Thank you very much. Okay, the gentleman in black, yes. No. Front, yes, that one. Yes.
Now, good morning. I remain my humble self, Abdulhabib Botasi, a student of Ahmad University area, currently 400.
Can you speak louder, my brother?
I said, I remain my humble self, Abdulhabib Botasi Momeda, a student of Ahmad University area, 400 level student. So my question goes like this. You know, when you are mentioned, all the eligible people that are able to apply for the Credicorp.
Yes.
So you didn't mention about the student.
Yes.
But we know that there are some students where they have a business dream.
Yes.
But with the limit of support. So with this now, can they be able to also apply for it? So
For this credit.
even though it's every month or every year.
Thank you. That's a good one. In particular with the student loan. Okay, thank you. That row where you are, the man in front of you, the man directly in front of you, yes. Don't worry, sir, I'm coming to you at the back. We guaranteed.
Good morning, all. My name is Martin Sanjay. I'm from Engr. My question goes like, sir, I know there's a lot of things going on under the credit score, but I would like to see if you can look into the situation of whereby credit score assists communities in some demands. For example, in my community, for like 6 months now, we have been struggling to have transformer. You know, we have like a House of Assembly guy there, but I don't know what he's doing. But we have been struggling to have transformer. Is there a way credit score can actually assist, whereby if a community needs transformer, needs tractor, and the rest, they can actually come to apply?
Thank you. I think that's another fantastic question. The Baba next to him. No, in the front, yes. That's another fantastic question.
Good morning, everyone.
Similar to what you talked about.
My name is Idris Al-Hassan. Sir, I would like to take you back to this Gamma Mobility Tricycle. Please, I'm one of the beneficiaries. I'm a farmer, a civil servant as well. So, but the problems that we have, I don't know if you help us look into. I'm one of the beneficiaries. For now, I have 3 keke of my own because of that Gamma.
Nice.
But I'm trying to introduce this to my co-farmers. But sir, I want you to go back to those companies. The price they are giving us is too high, sir. Because in the market, the price of keke napep is 3 point something million. But they are giving us that keke at about 6 points.
That's a lot.
Yes, sir. You pay for 2 years, just as you say. You pay for it for 2 years. Each month, every day you are remitting close to 10,000 naira. A month 60. So you pay it in 2 years, the keke will now become your own. But sir, the price is too much. Help us and talk to them. I'm one of the beneficiaries. I wanted to introduce many people, but they say the price
It's too high.
is too much. So I help
Thank
us and
you.
talk to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm excited about this because this is what this platform is about, where we can get policymakers to talk to the real Nigerians about their experience. The gentleman, I'll come back to you, sir. The gentleman in the black cap, yes. Don't worry, everybody will get a chance to ask questions. My brother has given us his time. Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Uzoma. Thank you, Dr. Dayo. My name is Victor. I represent the civil society space. My question is, you find out that in some countries, when young people do business and they have issues, they have the opportunity to declare bankruptcy and they get support to start again. So my question is there a plan by Credicorp? Because we know sometimes young people will take money and do business, and it may fail not because they want it to fail. It's simply the circle of business. If we watch the trajectory of the top business people in the world, they declare their failures before they rose up. Is there a system like that, that if you have challenges and we can trace that genuinely you put the money there and the business still didn't scale, is there a platform to address such?
Thank you.
We need to look at that.
Thank you very much. The gentleman in front of you in white, yes. MD, should we stop and take another set or just take and then you?
We can stop. I think we should stop.
Okay.
Okay, good morning, sirs.
Don't worry, we're coming to the back, sir.
Kamaldeen Olariwaju, a recent graduate from the University of Ilorin and also a prospective corp member. So I would like to confirm, I got to know that Youth Cred is a sub-initiative under Credicorp. So now as a youth, as a corp member, actually, so how, as a corp member that has a business, so how can I was part of the beneficiary of the student loan during my undergraduate days. So I would like to confirm the youth credit without having a collateral, what I can stand before it, like before getting the loan. Do I need to get a collateral or someone that can stand as a guarantor or something before getting the loan? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll stop here for now. My brother, you just finished student loan. You want to collect youth credit. Now only you Nigeria day for. Please, over to you, MD. We'll take the last set after.
All right, thank you very much for those questions. I'll just run through them fairly quickly. So you had asked a question around risk capital. In other words, like I assume you're talking about venture capital investments into companies like to create more OPAs that are local to Nigeria. To some extent, that's not within the remit of Credicorp because that's not for the size of money that's required. First of all, you have to put money in a business that is a company. You're not giving money to an individual. So Tosin and your Lorunda, who is the CEO of MoneyPoint, the founder of MoneyPoint, is not collecting money as Tosin. When venture capitalists invest in them, it's called this MoneyPoint, the company that's receiving the money. So Credicorp's remit is to provide credit to individuals. Now, if those individuals, like my brother at the back who has 3 kekes, if those individuals are using it for business, that's fine. But it's just that the money is to them as individuals, not to a company. So, but if you're asking a more philosophical question about why don't we have more venture capital in Nigeria, I think the reason why we don't have more venture capital in Nigeria is because we have not developed that industry here. I used to work in that industry, even though the bigger one is private equity. And what we see is that our local billionaires want to buy houses and want to buy physical assets that they can see. And the idea of putting money in a company and then leaving it to some people to run it, and then you take a piece of equity in that company at the beginning, and then later on, the value of that equity goes high and you can sell it to somebody else. That's a very foreign, it's not as foreign anymore, but it's definitely something that we are getting more comfortable with. So more local capital is working, but not to the extent. So these companies still have to rely on foreign capital. But until then, we'll keep moving. And the issue with development banks and money locked up, I think the quickest answer to that is, basically the question is, are we locking our money rather than lending it to Nigerians? No. And the proof of the pudding is in the eating, because now we've run out of money in the short term. So we're having to get more money. The velocity at which we disperse funds to our PFIs and to the beneficiaries is probably fastest that I know of DFIs in Nigeria today. And that's because we are very hungry for the numbers to get many more Nigerians to benefit. How does one become a vendor? Peter, that's my colleague, by the way. So Peter is the liaison and sort of help put this together. Hi, Peter, come and say hi to everybody. Wave. Hello, there you go. So now you have many more friends. So that's the guy that you can talk to. So you'll find the right person in the company. Agriculture, aggregation. So yes, the model, how we work is that we don't like to reinvent things. So if something already exists and what it needs is capital, then the thing should come and let us play. So like we didn't create our own Gamma Mobility. It existed and it needed capital and they came. So if there is a structured cooperative or group that already has this provision of land delineated to farmers, farmers are organized, ideally they would have farmed a bit enough to know sort of what crops are viable and what cash flow they can get, then that group should come, and then we would work with them. That's what we do countless times with different types of groups. So we're not trying to reinvent it. Abuse, especially when, how repayments, okay, good. So in other words, if it's easy to access, then how do we protect the capital? Again, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, meaning that rather than tell you, we will just look at the results. So today, every capital that we've given out to financial institutions have come back as and when due. So that means that we haven't lost any money. And that speaks to, one, the way we pick our financial institution partners, and also the quality of the profiling that the institutions themselves make on the beneficiaries. And so that has made it easy for us to sort of preserve our capital. So as of today, we have no non-performing loans. Okay, my last tablet, okay, froze a bit. Good. Now, we talked about students and entrepreneurs. So Youth Cred is for youth, period. So if you're a student, but you are an entrepreneur, then you go there as an employed youth because you are employed. Employed doesn't mean job. It just means livelihood. So if you are an employed youth, go to Youth Cred and seek out credit. That's it. Youthcred.com. Issue community transformer. Like I said, the employed youth segment is just about launching. So we're kind of in a soft launch. So they might put you on some waiting list to sort of test the scaling of the system. But in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be sort of very open to the public. We're going to have a bit of a launch, which will actually invite you, Honorable Dio, to come. The issue with the community transformer, my brother, the only thing I can do is hug that transformer. I can't help you. I'm sorry. But we can hug it together.
But what if, for example, members of the community want to come together, take a loan, but they have to take the loan individually?
They have to take a loan as individuals. And it's kind of, just my personal view, it's a bit of a failure of government if you have to borrow to fix the transformer. Okay, so I pass. I like to phone a friend on that one. So I'll leave that to you. Gamma mobility and the pricing issue, thank you for that feedback. We will deal with it. Platform to address business challenges that for businesses that are not, that don't work out. Again, thank you for the idea. I think please liaise with our team. We're very open to ideas. You know, the thing about where we work is that we take a very agile approach to things. So if there are ideas that work that can fly, we'll just run with it. Our job is to see the things happen, not necessarily that it has to come from us in some of the ideas. Core member, how do you benefit from Youth Cred? No, you don't need any collateral. Just go and apply. That's it so far.
Thank you very much. A round of applause.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start again from the gentleman in the art. Okay, actually, wait. Yeah, Tuko, start from the back this time. Yes. And then we'll come forward and then we'll wrap up.
Good afternoon, guys. One more time, Chike Okubu is my name. When I was introduced to Dio, back in the days when I was in Shopee by Charles Otudo, between then and now, I want to say I am so proud of you, Dio.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Anyway, young, skinny gentleman. Today, God is good.
Amen.
And to you, Uzo, thank you so much for the work that you do.
Thank you, sir.
Late last night, SSA to the president on special needs and equal opportunities, Honorable Abba Issa, called me at about 11 p.m. and said I should be here, that you will be here too. I said, fine, I'll make time to come here. On behalf of 30 million persons with disabilities, I want to plead with you, sir, that you consider a space where persons with disabilities, the ideas are here. So if you give me one of your team members, I will load you with ideas. Our major challenge, which we have also found a solution to, is what we call the first mile to the last mile ending in a smile. And what does that mean? Many people with disabilities would have loved to be here today. But their major challenge is leaving home to get to a bus stop, and then from the bus stop to the venue here. But we have come up with solutions for that. If I have your team members, I'll tell them the solutions too. It's a very simple solution. I've done it in Uganda, I've done it in Kenya, and until I get it done in Nigeria, I will not rest. Because we persons with disabilities should not be left behind. I said it earlier when I spoke. The former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon says, and I quote, that if you leave out 15% of your persons with disabilities, you are shooting yourself in the foot and shortchanging yourself by 15%. So let's get the work done now. I'm available to give you this information, and I'm available to work with you. Let's get the party started. God bless you all. And at 55, do I still look like a youth?
You look like a snack.
Thank you so much.
I love this MD. He's really a youth. Next, please. Let's come for. Can I see your hand? Okay, so I will take. Let me stand up. Okay, I'll take that lady there, female. After her, we'll take the next man in white hat. Then we'll come to the two here. Then let's find another female who has a question. Women want to empower you and give you credit. Okay, we'll come to you after.
All right, thank you so much, Ambassador Dayo Israel, and thank you, Engineer Uzoma. This is an initiative that we are so proud of, the one anchored by the Renew Hope agenda. So my question is directed, is focused on the Power House 774, which is a scheme under the Credicorp. So I would like to ask, I think I've written so as a representative of the Progressive Young Ladies Network, which is an arm of the Youth Wing, I would like to ask, how is Credicorp working towards empowering, or how can we partner with you to take this initiative to our women, our young women, especially in the rural communities? How can you see to that, and how can we ensure that this benefit does not pass them by? And another question is, as someone who is in the skill development sector, I would also like to know how we can, it's still under partnership, how we can also partner with the Credicorp initiative to ensure that not just our women, but also our young people at various levels. And Progressive Young Network particularly is across Nigeria.
Thank you.
It's 36 states and the FCT. So we'd like to know how we can take this to the rural communities and even the young ladies at the center. Thank you.
Thank you. And MD, this has some of the practical feedback that we also want to take away from this event. As the youth wing of the ruling party, beyond the conversation, let me quote what M&E officer always says, Eunice, beyond the number. Beyond the conversation, we want to be able to leave here with some form of commitment that, you know, there are potential practical partnership that would help us to, get more women, young women to benefit from what Credicorp is doing. How do we get more people in local communities and grassroots communities? What are you doing already in that area, and how can we, my zonal youth life for North Central will highlight more on that conversation. But we want to be able to leave here with some practical action that we can say, this will benefit you. Because we're going to an election next year, and we have to be able to take tangible feedback, that we were able to partner together. I love the idea from the gentleman in the red cap. I think he went inside the porter cabin, about what we can do for our young people in agriculture as well. Yes, the chick coming out there. We need to be able to leave here also with tangibles that we can then follow up on. Thank you very much, MD, for taking note of that. So, that gentleman at that back, we're coming to the front, but that man at that back, yes. Has he spoken? Yes, with the black hat, yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ambassador Samuel Danjuma. Engineer, first, Dayo, thank you for putting this together, and to the chairman of Credicorp. The question is this: like you just said from the last word you just said, we are young, progressive entrepreneurs. You're talking more about consumption. How do young progressive entrepreneurs benefit from this? Because what we do basically is to create employment for the people, but we have issues with getting credit to fund most of the things we do. So how do we young progressive entrepreneurs also benefit from your agency? Thank you.
Okay, next question. I saw the two hands there. Yes. Yes, the gentleman with the black cap and the one beside him. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Dayo, we appreciate your efforts and our guest speaker today. My question is just very simple and direct. Most of the questions have been asked already. But however, I want to ask, what's the duration between the application for the scheme and obtaining the credits? What's the duration like? Thank you.
Next, the gentleman in, yes, go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Farouk Ali. What you've done with Credicorp is really, really impressive. And zero defaults is beyond impressive. In Nigeria, I believe one of the things that we've become accustomed to is just failing. Don't worry, you won't have to pay back. Is one of the ways that our loan system has worked for so long. So 0% default is very, very impressive. So how do you manage to keep the same level of aggression and attention to detail that you have and the level of intensity for what you intend to achieve? How do you manage to transmit that to your team to ensure what you've been able to achieve? Dr. Dayo, I'll have to congratulate you. Your team actually looks very, very hands-on, and that's something special. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Some very, very impressive things. And from my community personally, we were trying to develop something for our eco sellers. They're saying there's this issue that real eco that Yoruba old women used to make is going into extinction. Whereas in the places where they are making it, these people are not earning money too, so they are not really doing it. And what we thought of was bringing together the local women who do it to teach the next generation, and then we give them the facility and infrastructure to make this eco, and then we brand it. We brand it as local eco from VTT, Nigeria, and then sell to increase the revenue they get. But obviously, funding is always a challenge.
So how specific can Credicorp now help? How can Credicorp help those women?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Funding is always a challenge. And from the conversation that we've had here today, Credicorp obviously can very, very much help. And that's what I wanted to highlight. That being here today, I have benefited from this conversation, and I can go back to my people and say, this is what we can do to achieve this dream. So thank you very much for putting things like this together. Please continue to do it. It will definitely benefit the Nigerian youths. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, the gentleman with the black hat here, yes. We're wrapping up now. We're coming back to the front. There's no more lady. Okay, we'll take Madam after, yes. And then we'll come to you, yes.
Hey, Chief Dr. Dayo, I appreciate you so much. CEO Nwagba, I appreciate you.
Nwagba.
So Nwagba.
Pronounce it well so you can collect credits.
Pardon me, please. Nwagba.
Nothing for you, my brother.
I'll get it wrong. So, I'm happy being here. Great things are really happening here. And my name is Ifezino. I'm an Isoko by tribe. And I'm the CEO of Alenza Fortuna International Limited, a farming and agribusiness company. I'm also, by the grace of God, the convener of We Deal with Baba Shei Tinubu. It's a political support group, but then it's beyond political support because we are into community development and human capital development. Now we're using about 5 different vehicles to drive the PBAT socio-economic programs to the grassroots. On the list, number 1 is agriculture. Number 2 is information technology. Number 3 is health. Number 4 is education. And 5 is sports, recreation, and entertainment. Now, agriculture has been primitive, but in the days of its primitiveness, we were able to build the cocoa house in Oyo State. Agriculture has moved from primitiveness to modernization, to modernized farming practice, but currently today, with the way infotech has been moving, we are beginning to have agri-tech satellite farming and the likes of technological things. Now, you made mention of the youth credit. You also made mention of the Ghana mobility. One of the major challenges before this meeting started, we got talking as a family here. One of the major challenges in the agricultural sector is logistics and transport. In just a farm is a way the Ghana mobility, if the Ghana mobility can expand its logistic thing to the agricultural sector, it will be very, very nice. Now, my question is there any way, anything, because you have set aside a lot of programs for youth credit, Ghana mobility, is there anything in particular you have set or you are putting aside to see how we can take agri-tech, intra-trade tech to the next level?
Thank you.
Yesterday we had a program here and there was a Philippine woman that was here with us. She's into agri-tech, and both of us, we have also concluded how we can put our heads together and move the agri-tech forward, please. If there's a way you can set aside specifically a program for agri-tech, that would be very nice.
Please pass the mic to the woman here, yes, next to you. The woman on green. Thank you very much for that question, sir.
Anything that some women can, let me say, benefit through skills acquisitions. Like there was a place where I live in Apo. There was this organization that came that they wanted to empower women. They told me to gather some women. I think before women came. So I now noticed that some people, there are a lot of women that are in need. They are looking for something like this. I was, wow, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? There are different traits they want to learn, some women. So as I came across this program this morning, I'm inspired from what I'm hearing. If actually, women will benefit, like, less privileged, like single mothers especially. There are single mothers out there that are suffering, honestly. I knew them. So if this program can benefit them, this initiative, I think it will be a nice one, and to change the narrative of this name, this LPC of a thing. Please, at least, let's do to put a smile in women's faces in the rural areas.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Let's go to this side, the young lady there. And madam, that's part of the things that we're, hoping that Credicorp would do more, which you're already doing, is to now see those your 200 women, let them apply for credit from Credicorp. The money is available there. And I'm sure there are people around here that Credicorp would, the MD will identify who they can talk to that can advise you. You can carry those 200 women and help them to fill the form to apply for money. The money would go to them, not their business. They can now spend it for their business and to invest and all of that. But I'll let MD refer to that. Go ahead, ma.
My name is Charity Nwagba. I'm from Benue State. By trying. So I coordinated them and I started a platform, training them on agriculture, on how to use organic liquid fertilizer to improve their crops. I trained them on cash crops, most especially. And I happened to be trained here. And our platform name was Smart Farmers. So I coordinated the platform and I grouped the members that were trained here. So we are on a platform. Some people are still asking, how can we be attended to from government?
So you attended one of our...
They just said we should pick a talk. So we submitted our project. So now, that is one. Now, I want to know how I can reach out to my women, that is to support them from this platform, this Credicorp.
Thank you.
Honestly, there are women that are desperate. Some of them cannot come to this meeting because of transport, to come and even know what is happening.
Thank you.
So my youth farmers in politics again, I created a platform. This is a year now. We have been in existence and we are certified by AMAC. So now, my concern now, I have the land is directly to me on my name for over 10 years. I've not been able, sometimes I can't even go there. But I have these women that I'm planning to see how we can start.
So what do you need from Credicorp?
Okay, I need loan for my women.
That's done. That's what they are here for, to give you loan and credit.
Yes.
Don't worry. MD will tell you who to speak to after. Thank you. Okay, that the mama there, and then come to the front to wrap up. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. I am the CEO of Mothers in Nigeria Foundation and a winner of the One Local Government Project by Silver. I already have a network of local government.
Mommy time.
When it is season for time. So I've already trained women using clusters. You know, when I was living in Jos, I trained.
So what can the MD do for you, mommy?
So what I want is that I should be connected powerfully and yes. What I want to
MD
do,
is your power bank here.
what I want to do is that some credit be given to this network of
Women.
women from one state to the other.
Fantastic.
Let them be able to access funds.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Okay. This is my brother here in the front. Yes, we need to wrap up because MD needs, and we're very grateful for the time. And, you know, these are people who are directly beneficiaries of. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm okay, Senator.
You are covering your face. The camera, you know, they are streaming live. Yes.
Cool. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm the co-founder and MD of Engr Limited. It's the first digital hybridized gaming supporting system that enables player-to-player, spectator-to-spectator, user-to-user platform in a gamified ecosystem. Now, I am very much concerned about how Credicorp generates funds. Because I know it's a no collateral, and I don't know if it's interest-free, the loans you give out. How do you generate funds? How do you ensure the sustainability of your financial ecosystem? Because that is where Gabriel comes in. Because from all we've been hearing so far, if let's say Credicorp, it will still loan give out well. How do you generate this fund?
Thank you. Thank you.
And this question has a part B. When he answers, I will.
No, ask your part B now.
Okay. Now, my question is Credicorp, does it have a profiting mechanism?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Final question. No, you already asked one now. The man in green at the back. Final question. Yes. Fine. Okay. Yes, we'll now have you.
Opportunity. I'm Mr. Henry Okafor, the CEO of Engr Biotech and Ventures. I want to ask a simple question to Credicorp MD, Engineer Uzoma. Please, does Credicorp have any agenda for people in production, especially the agricultural sector? Those that are doing producing agri-input that helps what the farmers actually produce to come out well.
Thank you.
I think if there is any green stimulus, maybe something that would help those that are in this sector to
Thank you.
help us to grow as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all the people who have asked questions. Can I have the mic now to the final comment from my zonal youth leader, North Central?
Good afternoon, MD.
You have another comment.
You see, to be candid, you would have noticed one thing, the rural areas. You can imagine we are in the Abuja city, and people are not really aware. Why? You have a very simplified and enriched website. because I have been seriously following Credicorp. In fact, I got through to know Credicorp very well through Subsidy Project, which is an aggregator in the scale program. So there is a lot of information on your website, but people are not actually aware. That is by the way. Secondly, the rural area, whether you like it or not, all of these things people should go and apply. That is where I said I am practically suggesting rural credit agents, which is serve as a point of like aggregator in the financial area of application and assisting people. Because one thing that people do not understand about this thing is that your credit score will determine whether you are going to get loan. And how do you check your credit score? This kind of things is what you train those partner or how you're going to do with these rural credit agents. They're going to be Ruka. So they're going to be helping to check their credit for even before it's inside. Another thing is that we applied. Some of my people applied, but they have been put on the waiting list, and there has no been feedback on when and how it's going to. So we want to know, is there a feedback mechanism of probably even if you are rejected, people should know why your loan was not approved, so you can go and rectify whatever the problem is. So on a general note, I think it is time that you upscale that the way you have done in the area of scale, in the area of youth credit. Youth credit, right? The aggregator should come in. Probably you have your presence at the 774 local. I'm not saying you should run it as an agency or something. Even if it is private sector, let people apply from basic local government and run it competitively. Anybody that brings it some performance basis. So that being said,
thank you.
Also, I noticed that you only have office in Lagos, Abuja, and Ibadan. So I'll hold you, sir. Even if it is a geopolitical zone, we can work in. Like Abuja, people from Nigeria can be aware and working. So maybe to kind of do something on that. I want to quickly round up, please, and I'm rushing myself. Thank you.
Final. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause. MD will take your response to the questions, then we'll have our own final conversation.
Got it. Okay. So I'll just power through the questions quickly. So for I will take a group of questions that have to do with something along the lines of I'm doing some initiative, or I have some women or some group, and I would like to be able to channel credit for them. The answer to your question is, let us know what it is. In other words, you have to put together some sort of plan or proposal that lets us understand what is the group, how many people are the members, what's the volume of credit that you're looking at, and most importantly, an understanding of the income profile of the members of that group now. So something to say, I have some women, I have a piece of land, I want them to start farming, and I want them to get credit to start the farming. You might succeed, but you probably wouldn't be prioritized over somebody who says, I have a group of women, we are already doing the farming. We've done maize, plantain, and guava, and we realized that maize is the crop that works. We have now focused on maize and expanded it to this point, and each of our women earns at least 70,000 naira a month, no matter what. And I would like to get credit for each person for 500,000. That's just our credit profiling will choose that over the other. Yeah. So there's no lack of ideas. There's no lack of ideas. I think the hard part is in execution. And so once you have executed to the point where you can be understood as a credit entity that has income, then put a proposal together. I know my team members will hate for me to do this, but I will ask anyone who works for Credicorp in this room to rise and be recognized. And they know that I know them, so if they're not rising, right. So these are members of our team. I was going to say, I didn't know I had a member of team. All right, fine. So please sit. I just said that so that you have more options of sort of how to engage and get the information across. Ideally, go and do the proposition and write to Credicorp, where we'll essentially email us at info@credicorp.ng, but think through it properly. Otherwise, something else will be prioritized by you. It's not that what you're doing is not important. It's just someone else or some other initiative is prioritized because they have shown that there is income happening that can sustain credit. I think that answers quite a few of the questions around women networks, skill development, how young progressive entrepreneurs can benefit, how do you expand to agri sector? So even the gaming company question, if you have an aggregation of people, then let us understand what it is. Then there was another question around the ratio between application and credit. It depends on your conversation with the microfinance bank or commercial bank or just the financial institution that we work with that you have gone to seek the credit from. We've seen people get credits in a matter of days, a day or two. We've seen people credit get in a couple of weeks. It all depends on what they have seen about your income that allows them to make that decision. But I would say that the speed of our credit is, again, about the fastest that we know in the country now because of how fast we turn around with the PFIs and then how that translates to them turn around to the beneficiaries. Actually, people with disability and what we can do with people with disability. So I think it's the same thing. We have a couple of friends who are the legislators from the House committee. We are open again to getting a proposition from you on best way to support people with disability, but better understanding of their current occupation and income. That would help us to make that assessment. But of course, 15% of the population is not a joke. We should be able to cater for them as much as we can. And then the last was agenda for people in production of agric inputs. I think the best is also that they should be part of a cooperative and come to us. So most people we've worked with that you see, whether it's Sitiamu in Aba, whether it's Gamma Mobility, whether it is some of the other groups, the Credlock for people who get devices, is that they already have that program going on and people who are participants in it, and those people now need access to credit. So once that happens, you can send us information at info@Credicorp, or you can come to our office and see one of our team members. I think that is about it for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please give the MD Credicorp a big round of applause. I think it's been a fantastic fruitful conversation. Now, away from Credicorp a little bit.
Yes.
You're a young person who has been in leadership. You've risen through the rank, you've served, and you've learned, you've been on various fellowship programs. What would be your advice to young people, not just in this room, but also who are watching this online, who are going to watch the video later, or who are on our Zoom and Linktree platform watching this right now?
Got it. I think my biggest advice to young people, especially in a country like Nigeria, I think the young people are generally punching below their weight. And what I mean by punching below their weight is that, I think I said at the beginning of this meeting that people my age being very bullish about changing the face of leadership of the country and sort of picking experiments, like I've told you, which is why I personally take this job very seriously and give it everything I've got, because I feel like I have a rare opportunity, and if I don't do it well, I mess it up for many more young people that come after me, even many young people that are my peers now. So, but my biggest advice to young people is that young people, I think, should stop waiting for permission. I know it's a very unconventional thing to say. I think young people should raise their hands more and not wait for permission. And I'm not even talking from politics now. I know that politics that's a universe that is a little bit more complicated to sort of wait your turn and all of that, right? But even there, you will be surprised how much our fathers, mentors, godfathers, daddies, mummies, how much they are dying for people who raise their hands and get things done. Like, I think that we should stop asking for permission. We should stop waiting for people to somehow have mercy on us. And I'll give you a typical example, or even me being in this position, and I don't know many times I've told this story, but maybe never, that in as much as I was reasonably well known in sort of the professional circles in government, to get this job, I had to fight a little bit for it until I found a man in the government who was looking for someone like me, right? And was said that that he essentially took me and went to the president and insisted that this person will get this job. He also happens to be quite young. In fact, maybe I'll just divulge his name, is the FIRS chairman. So, and he was a person that sort of took the matter upon his hand. But for me to get to that point, I had to essentially build the plan for the whole institution. What it is, why it's the problem, my own experience, what I will do, how we would look, how we would solve the problems, and essentially chased people down to see that I was the right person for the job. And of course, there was till today, whenever I go into a lot of meetings, like government institutions, right, I'm going to see